Hi everyone, today I'm going to be going through some updates with you. So we're going to start out with this machine here. This is the Bosch Classics WAE 28364GB, and this was the one that I featured a while ago, maybe 2 weeks now, and it's the one that had the broken spider. So what I've done is I've changed the drum, so you can see it's a different drum now. It has got some sofa throw blanket things in there, which have just been through a wash actually, but I'll deal with those later. So it's got a brand new inner drum from Bosch, so that's been completely apart and it's put back together. Done a couple of loads in it, including this one, and yeah, it's all working fine. So that will be completely filmed, so all cycles, all options, and I might keep it, or if I sell it I'm going to charge higher than I usually would because I fitted a new tub, and I'm going to say it's had a brand new drum in the listing, but we'll see what comes of that first. Then we've got the Hoover Optima here. I've mentioned about this already, there's not much that needs to be said. It's just a case of I'm going to finish filming it and then probably sell it. I'm not looking to keep this one too much, but basically with these two it'll be a case of, if I do keep any of them, it will be a case of one or the other, because I don't really want to keep both of them, because I know if I keep both of them then either one of them won't get used or another of my machines won't get used, because either of these two will always be in use, if that makes sense. So yeah, one or the other of these. And actually, speaking about that, this lot, so the IZ, the Flexitime, the LG, the Hisense and the Candy, yeah, so I'm getting quite a collection. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7 and 8, including the hot point in the kitchen. So 8 machines for 3 spaces, and the hot point never changes, so that's not going to move. So we're looking at 7 machines for 2 spaces, which is not ideal. And what I'm facing right now is I always want to have machines just staying in. So like the idea is this space will be for a machine that is going to change less often than a machine that's in this space, for example, because it's harder to take a machine out of this space and put another one back in, not only because of that wire on the floor which goes around that machine and back out here, but also because you've got this machine here and then the wall there. Whereas if I'm taking out the machine that's in this position, I can move the fairy and anything else that's down that side, then I've got that leverage and then that little extra gap there. So it's much easier to move machines out of this space and that space. So yeah, that one will be more for temporary machines. And also this space needs to be for the machine I'm filming at that moment, because if you notice, that space is right in front of the door. So yeah, because I had to have the tripod about here where I'm standing, and this is literally as far back as I can go because there's a cupboard behind me. You get the idea. I won't be able to open this door to, leave the room if I'm filming a machine in this position, which is alright if it's like an hour or so cycle, but if it's several hours, I will want to go out of the room and maybe get some water, etc. So yeah, but for the actual so what I'm going to do about potentially selling some of my machines is I'm going to probably put in, so the machine that's here is going to always be the filming machine, as I say, unless I decide to film whatever I've got here, which I've already mentioned about. So I'm thinking the machine that's here, I'm going to probably finish filming the Optima completely and then move the Bosch to where the Optima is so that can be filmed, and then the machine that's in this space I'm going to keep there for probably a week at a time, and then I'm going to decide based on that, like based on that week of using that machine as the main machine for that period of time, whether or not that's going to be one for definite keeping, or whether it's going to be one for looking at selling on. Because I think I'm more comfortable having 4 or 5 machines maybe than I am with having like 8 or what have we got, 9 including the household machine. It's quite a lot, and you know, the machines over here, my collection machines, they're not really getting that much use now because I'm getting like used machines and I'm getting machines to fix and sell on, and you know, once I properly start the temporary machine series, i.e. when I've started driving lessons and stuff, because I have my provisional now, so I can begin actually doing the lessons, and then I can do the test, and then we'll be able to get a car, and then a lot more of these older machines will be coming in, and the temporary machines, as I've said, that will start then. But when that begins, because I'll be trying to film at least 2 cycles of every machine I get, these machines over here, although I have filmed them, so they don't need content for the channel anymore, although Candy is the exception to that, because I've not finished filming that, and the IZ I've got 1 video left to do, which I've not done yet, because I'm not going to spoil why, but it involves kind of getting some of the wiring changed in the machine, which will be reverted by the way, but just for that machine, just for that video rather. The LG, this one here, that's being sold on, so I've got that on Marketplace at the moment. I don't think it's going to sell very quickly because it's an expensive machine. The FlexiTime, I think I filmed all what I can, and although I like the machine, because it's not great for smaller loads, I'm looking at maybe that as one of the options to sell on, but we'll see. Because as I said, I'm going to use them all as a daily machine for a week at a time and kind of decide. The IZ is not going anywhere. This is the only thing here pretty much that is guaranteed permanent, because I like this machine too much. It's the only machine that can wash everything. So, and it's also the first, like, not only the oldest machine I've used, but it's also the first permanent machine that was in my collection. So this will stay here forever. So yeah, the one I think I'm most likely to keep out of all of this, as in out of the planned permanent machines so far, so the hot point obviously I'm calling a planned permanent machine, but I've not filmed any of it yet, so it depends. I'll talk more about that later. But the Candy, actually, this Smart Pro, I'm thinking of that maybe being the one I keep. Potentially the Hisense as well, but if it comes down to one of these being better than the Hisense, in my opinion, the Hisense might go as well, but we'll see about that. The LG is definitely going, because it isn't the LG I know. Like, I tried it for the channel, and because I was hoping it would be good, but it's not about, it's a good machine, but not for me. So yeah. Anyway, what else did I want to talk about? So I've mentioned the temporary machine series and stuff. Obviously when I bring that series in, as you know, I can't just film every cycle, because if I use the Optima as a demonstration, what I'm doing at the moment is filming like the Cotton 90 cycle, the synthetic cycle, and then all the specials, and then the options afterwards, the spin with no belt or pump, etc. And I can't be doing that on every single machine I get, especially the temporary machines. So that was fine while I was getting a new machine every couple of months, but now I'm looking at, for the machines that are for the collection, yes, I will film them in that order. However, for temporary machines, I'm probably going to focus on whatever cycles look the most interesting on that machine. And for temporary washer dryers, it will always be a wash and dry cycle. And for the not temporary, I won't say always. If the option is available to have it as a wash and dry, I will do that. If it's a cycle that can't allow drying, obviously that's the different story. Anyway, and then for the washing machines, I will just pick whichever. If it's an unusual cycle, I will pick that. If it's something that, just anything that looks interesting or that I think might be interesting or different. So yeah. And the other thing is, once I get a car, and I've already kind of started doing this now, but once I get a car I'll be able to properly do it, is I want to be getting cheap or free appliances, so washing machines, dryers, washer dryers, ovens, all sorts of stuff, and I basically want to fix them up and sell them on, or if they can't be sold on, I want to do what I did with this Beko here. So that's my welling motor, which I was having fun with the Beko's drum. So I basically took it apart, and then I've got things like the inlet valves, the wiring loom, that's the Candy's door lock, but I have got the Beko's door lock up for sale, and the pressure switch. Just basically part it out and sell the things on. I have the drawer here as well, but I don't know how well that's picking up on camera, but I can't clean it up well enough for me to be comfortable selling it, so I'm just kind of keeping that in case I need it in future. I might sell the drawer front actually, because I think I'll be able to clean that up a bit. But the drawer itself, I don't think I'm going to be able to get it clean enough to sell on. And things as well like the Bosch's pulley, because obviously it's got a new drum. The what do you call it? This part here, the shaft on the very top here, that's a different design entirely. So instead of expecting us to buy the pulley separately, they supplied the new one, which is the fully metal covered one, and obviously this nut would fit into there on the old pulley, but it's the new style nut now, so not a bolt, it's just a nut you thread round the shaft. So yeah, but that's kind of what I want to do, is to take apart the machines that can't be saved and then sell the parts individually, if that makes sense. So anyway, that's going to be it for this update video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.